Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to our second ever Beige Carpet After Party live stream review. We just got finished watching the Autumn Celebration live stream. Lots of exciting stuff going on, and we've got some really exciting people here to talk about it. I'm going to let them say hello to themselves in order, going top to bottom, just because they're on the screen that way. So go ahead and say hello, everybody.
What's up, guys? Sinzar here, excited to talk about the stream and Nier and Clash.
What's going on, guys? I love androids. Let's move on.
What's going on, everybody? How about that Gabranth?
I know, right? Like, seriously, Gabranth. It's about time. So we like I said, we just finished watching, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it with our very first question for all of you three, and that is, what were some of your really quick hot take favorite moments from the live stream, or if you have any, your least favorite moments?
I guess favorite moment would be just the announcement of the new Clash of Wills coming and the Nier. It's been like over talked about for going on 6 months or something, and I'm tired of hearing about it. So as much as I'm excited about it, I am glad that every single question won't be when's Nier, when's Nier, when's Nier. And least favorite would have to be, even though I did participate, probably like the game show part. I think it just is time consuming and doesn't really need to be in the monthly news stream.
Like, for sure, easily my most favorite moment is going to be Alex's hair. But a very close second is, just like you said, Sins, it's not having to answer people's questions about if they should save for Nier, because save for Nier is now. And if you haven't listened to anyone who said save for Nier, I don't know what to tell anyone at this point. Least favorite moment, though, I mean, pretty much anything after the unit announcement. They used to be kind of exciting, and I feel like they're just getting less so. Although I did appreciate that they were actually playing the game as part of their game section this time.
Yeah, for sure. Flip?
Yeah, definitely that no one will keep saying, when is Nier? And you tell them, and then they ask again. I really liked that we got to see Alex back again. Yeah, that was awesome. That they said we're going to get more ways to get Esper ore, and which I already thought we were getting enough already, but okay. And that personally, and this is just because my favorite thing, that we will be able to equip master cards on 3 to 6 star units, because I've been wanting that for the longest time.
I had a feeling that was going to be your thing. I really did. That's so cool.
It's kind of needed.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Like that's gonna
also
open
give me
up
a second Hyo Vision card.
That would be lovely. That's gonna open up a ton of stuff though for people who maybe don't have every unit but have, you know, some viable options. There are a handful. You know, there are a handful. We talked about that before. I would say probably my favorite is looking at the units and seeing everybody's reactions to the units. Like seeing the chat go wild over the new units was really pretty cool. And I don't think I really had a big least favorite moment, other than that one ticket that we get from Hiroki completing the challenge.
20-minute event.
Here's your one ticket. You know, well, I guess we're getting 2, but still, you know, it could be a little better. But cool. And then our second question, of what we saw, and we're gonna dive right into what we saw in just a moment. What are you most looking forward to?
Of the presented comment, definitely Clash of Wills. You know, Clash of Wills is my favorite, and these units they seem like they're going to be Clash of Wills units. Even in the preview, they showed some morale skills in the previews themselves, so that's kind of confirms they are for Clash of Wills. And that's good, because if they were just like a standalone collaboration, kind of like a Dragon Quest or something, that had nothing to do with Clash of Wills, I would definitely be skipping it. But yeah, because Nier and Clash of Wills are going to be going hand in hand, I am really hyped for it.
Cool deal.
For sure, Flip, you and I were just talking about this not too long ago, but this is easily the best designed Clash of Wills boss that I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible. I'm a big fan of the pixel art for the Clash of Wills bosses anyway. I think they're probably the best sprites that just exist as assets in the game now. And this one is far and beyond the best I've seen, to the point where I can even almost overlook just reusing the same raid boss we've already fought twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's great. Hopefully it doesn't turn purple when it gets to 99.
You know it's coming.
It maybe it's slightly less purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I definitely love the art for the boss this time. It looks great. It's a little bit more machine than it is human, but I think it's great. But what I'm looking most forward to is actually that they acknowledge that the fan art design units exist with the popularity contest poll. So you'll be able to vote for which unit can get an upgrade and a new Neovision, a new kit. And I'm really excited that units like Malphase, Circe, etc. will be in that popularity poll, so we could have the option of getting one of those units as a Neovision base. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ong.
Or Ong. I am excited about that as well, and I'm also really excited about the announcement they made in the Q&A section about dark matter. That they recognize, like, even though the games are on different time schedules, that something could/should be done, and they're going to be increasing the amount of dark matter that we're gaining, so we can start crafting those dark visions weapons. I think that's super cool for veterans and new players alike. I think it's fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to them rolling out something good for that. Alrighty, so let's get into the actual stream. I'm going to start with what I think is a really cool picture because, like you said, we've got Alex back. How did you guys feel seeing Alex on the stream?
Alex Tony collab, best collab of 2022.
I love it. I thought it was really cool.
I was happy. I've always thought Alex in the videos was enthusiastic. He speaks well. He's clear. He's easy to understand. So I was happy to see him back. I think he does good as like a host for the videos.
I think as he's gotten older, like first time we saw him, I feel like he was like 18 or something. I feel like as he's gotten older, he's gotten better at it.
Definitely. I mean, I appreciated, first of all, that they just started with his face. Like, just let him have it. Let us all see that he's back. It's excellent. But, when he first joined, it was hard having him next to somebody like Shali, because Shali had just been around for so long. She loved the game. She's the one who could talk about it, and it made him look like he couldn't. And then we get him back, and you just see the pop of life that he actually brought to this stream. From an energy perspective, this was probably the best stream that we've seen in a while, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought
Definitely.
Thought it was really good. And Flip, I think you said right away when we started watching it that you want Tony's shirt.
Yeah, I really like his shirt. I wanted him to open it up. I wanted to see the full art,
Yeah.
but we never got even like a glimpse of it. All it says is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, but I want to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thought I saw something that said 6th.
Like, could that be like the anniversary shirt or something?
It might have been.
I don't know. Either way, really cool to see all three of them there. I thought it was a really good one. Let's get into the second one here. Here's what their program was: new units, new events, all that stuff is what we're going to be talking about. And speaking of, here we are. So finally, we have come this whole way from the anniversary live stream where they just kind of like teased it a little bit. We're finally getting it, and to start us out, here's what we're getting. First and foremost, 2B Neovisions. What are your immediate thoughts?
Okay. First of all, the video to announce all of this was incredible. My favorite part of these games is the soundtrack just as a whole. And leading straight away into with the soundtrack, which I'm hoping is in the game on the vision card, but I'm not really holding my breath, which we'll come back to in a second. But just hearing the music again in this context as something to be excited about was fantastic. But this this Neovision's unit with her Brave Shift makes perfect sense. It's thematically accurate. The sprite work is amazing, which, let's just go ahead and say that the global team's sprites have been incredible recently. The units, maybe not, but the sprites themselves are incredible, and this one is no exception. I mean, she's absolutely stunning from an art perspective.
I think from an art perspective, these are probably my favorite sprites from the Clash of Wills units because they're not just pink, purple, green, blue, pink, purple, green, blue.
It is a nice change.
For me,
It's-
it was tag team.
Oh
That-
yes,
Oh God, yes.
right
I-
there under
Ugh.
limit burst. It's a tag team limit burst.
And Extreme Nova and a Katana unit. Eh,
It's
It's
a
so
tag
good.
Extreme Nova chain. That is
It's
crazy.
so good.
We
It's
already know how
Chizuru.
good that is. Yeah.
It's so good.
What I like about that is how easy Extreme Nova is to chain. It's not like trying to chain SR or something
Mhm.
like that.
As long as you're only single casting it, yes, I agree.
Yeah, that can be a little wacky. Now, the overall description talks about being a physical attacker can deal high LB damage and even higher, and this was a surprise for me as somebody who's never played the game, light elemental damage. What do you guys think about that?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, we knew it was going to be light elemental from
Yes, we
the
did.
The monthly
from
bulletin, yep.
the monthly bulletin, but
Thematically, I
Really-
don't get it.
yeah,
I think it's kind of like Tsukiko, who just had nothing to do with Earth, and all of a sudden is an Earth unit. They just tune it based on the boss design they had in mind, whether it makes sense for the unit or not.
Yeah. And her Brave Shift form can deal increased damage to humans and machines. So, surprise, surprise. We do get some light and lightning elemental support abilities. I'm curious to know more about what that is. But so far, so good. And here is some of the stuff that they put on there for featured abilities. They show the EX ability, 500 attack, LB damage, or fill LB gauge for caster, and fill morale gauge at the start of battle. So there you go. There's your first instance of this is a morale unit. And then the featured ability is the True Charge Volt, which again does not make sense because it reduces light resistance. It's a volt, but does light. Explain that to me. But there you go.
weren't they originally lightning?
They were. And I will point out in the preview that this is self only. This is not AoE.
It does say that, yeah, for caster only. Now, wait a minute. It says boost light damage for LB abilities and magic. So I guess if you gave her magic, but because we assume she's a physical attacker.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
that-
her
They said that on her overview.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, the physical and magic thing, just like the standard way they
The standard way they word it.
amplifies.
Yeah. Okay.
oh, okay.
Cool.
Also, you can point out that they are getting a synergy bonus with each other. Like, Sylvie and Wilk get them together, and then Sylvie and Esther as well. 2B and A2 will be more powerful on a team together, which is both good and bad.
I agree.
Why is that bad? Just out of curiosity.
Because they're both premium, and they may
Oh.
they might be balanced around this bonus, meaning they're handicapped without it. And if you don't pull for both to EX2 or above, you could be like a lot weaker than the unit was intended to be. So it's just really expensive.
So you're thinking that like if you need to rank one this Clash of Wills, you might need both of them at EX2?
Depending on the tuning, it is possible. Yes.
Ooh, that's rough.
I'm less inclined to think rank oneing this one will require that, just because it's only the second one in the season, and the second one is not a cupcake like the first one, but it's definitely not the third one. I could see it potentially being the December one for sure. My only real concern with that is just like these units are potentially very expensive. And the only banner that they showed for us was, which I'm sure we'll come to in a second, didn't show pity tickets. It's also a limited time collab unit. Normally we get 100 free shards for those units. We don't know if we're going to get them as of now. We don't know if these units will be pitiable at all past the guarantee on the one banner. I mean, so having them have a skill that is potentially locked to EX2 or above is, if it makes them absolutely ludicrously broken, then like, cool, I get the balancing to an extent. But the accessibility for the majority of players is potentially very concerning, depending on if we're going to get what we have become accustomed to with collab units.
I agree. Here is her. This was something new that they brought out. We were just talking about this. The EX+1 reward, and for her, it's a materia that you can get called Chains of Protection. And it does attack, defense, magic, spirit 40%, all element resistance by 20%, and then increase chain limit cap by 50%, and then does an immunity buff for all ailments. And you can get one of these. They said multiple times you can get one of these. So what do you guys think about this ability as an EX +1 reward?
For veterans, it's better than the vision card exchange token, even though I don't think this is like a super meta top of the line item. It is still better than a coin token for most players that have been playing for like 4 months or longer. For newer players, I would say this is probably worse than a vision card token, because when you're a new player, I think something like Tulian's card or Chizuru's card for the universal killers can be more useful than this specific item. But it'd be kind of nice if they gave you like an option to trade this for the vision card token. That way there is no downside whatsoever.
Well, did they say that you're not getting this, you're not getting the vision card select ticket instead? Or could we possibly see getting this token
Getting both?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think they specified. So yeah, it is
They did
possible
not.
you get both. And if that's the case, then sure, it's just a pure positive.
Well, and then here's question number 2 tied to that is, if once you get your one copy that you're allowed to get, do you get something else next time? Like, do you get, like you said, do you get the vision card? Do you get, yeah, I don't know.
It says the Cactar cards.
Oh, Cactar
Yes.
cards. Oh,
It says
yeah.
in there.
There you go. Or a metal card. Yeah, okay.
Notice how this is, it's just the coin just says EX on it. It doesn't say like Nier or anything like that, which leads me to believe this is a system that they're going to keep implementing and like a permanent shop.
Interesting.
Yes, but they did say during the stream that this one is specific to 2B, and the other one we're going to get to is specific to A2, so it's not like a universal token.
Okay.
But if it does open the door to a permanent exchange shop, then if that's how they do premium units into the future, I wouldn't be terribly opposed to it, because the old ones will still exist. You'll still be able to get the cards by EX1ing them. But it does give some slight diversity in, great, I can still pick the same 30 cards, of which I probably have 4 or 5 of. Or this new item that I'll probably never use, but at least it's different.
Hey, 20% resistance all is nice if you're trying to gear for literally complete immunity, I guess.
That's true. And I do love a ribbon.
Yeah. Kind of neat. I think it's neat that you're getting something, just getting something special just for getting EX1 instead of having to go all the way to EX2 or 3. So just kind of neat little bonus thing. And then the TMR and STMR. So we have a Super TMR, a 230 attack, two-handed katana. It activates some special stuff for 2B. Attack 500, equipment attack 100%, and 30% chance of evading attacks and filling LB gauge by 500 every turn. Thoughts?
Go ahead, Sinzar.
Okay, so I was mentioning this beforehand. I feel like, and especially for premium limited collaboration units, like the unit's personal STMR should always be best in slot. And I really feel like it should be. And the Dark Vision's Katana is just better. You're going to get an extra like 480 attack power by going Dark Vision's Katana, assuming you can make up the passives elsewhere. But the only thing you're really missing is 100% double hand, and that shouldn't be hard to make up elsewhere. Yeah, so yeah, I just think the Dark Vision's Katana, or this should be on par or better than the Dark Vision's Katana. Like Chizuru is the perfect example. Even with the Dark Vision's Katana, Chizuru still always prefers her own STMR as a personal best in slot, because the flat stats make up for it. It's 1,000 flat. That makes up for the fact that the Dark Vision has higher base. So this, in my opinion, should have 1,000 static attack to 2B. That way she never feels the struggle of, do I go best in slot but slightly harder gearing with Dark Vision's Katana, or do I use my personal? You should always want to use your personal, unless, weird scenarios. But other than that, taking the Dark Vision's Katana aside, it's a strong item. Very strong.
Definitely a lot of passives. And I'm really, really excited about the TMR.
Yes.
Unit can equip katanas.
So good.
Finally.
It's so good.
Finally.
Jiraiya can finally die.
No more Clan Master's headband and 60% attack and boosted physical and magic against machines and humans by 50%, which is like kind of on the low end, but still equip katana. We're there.
I hate that it's time limited.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just about to say I can stop getting those comments on videos. What if I don't have twin sword user? The old limited equip katana. This is limited too, isn't it? Oh, gee,
Yes,
that doesn't solve the problem.
Not fully.
Clan Master's headband. It's okay.
What I do like about the STMR is it does have 30% evade on it. So if like you're trying to gear a provoke evade unit, but still trying to do damage with them, this might actually be good.
Ooh, jacked.
I could see that. And I do think the LB damage, the LB gauge 500 every turn is nice on it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So that takes us through 2B. Here's the vision card that you get for 2B at level EX3. So we've got 100% attack, physical and magic damage against machines, 50%. HP 100%, LB damage 50% at level at the next one, and boost attack by 500. Nier automata units only. Attack base. It's just the attack on it alone is 150.
A lot of people were split about this one.
Well, I want to talk first about the art.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that they didn't do the pixel art with, like, they just borrowed the vision card art that they used in War of the Visions.
Yes.
They could have really made this like something special with like the little animation and make it a really cool scene from the game. I don't know the game, I've never played it, but I love seeing that whenever we get a collab and you get a scene from it and it plays out and it plays the music, it is the coolest part of a collaboration for me. And I love setting that as my home screen vision card. But these full art vision cards, I'm never going to set one of those as the vision card for my home screen.
They're beautiful, but they're just not as exciting because they're not dynamic.
I would willingly still take a static card if it was going to play a song from the game. And because it's never had this style of art and also played any music from anything, I have to be inclined to say that they probably won't. I agree, Flip, it's super lazy that they just brought it over from War of the Visions and let it be, even though it is a great card in War of the Visions. Stats are good. The card is pretty good. I mean, it's probably close to best in slot for the Nier units, depending on what you're doing. The biggest thing that I was honestly excited about with this collab was, again, the potential of having the music on the home screen. And while we don't necessarily know that it's not, I can't see that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this vision card should definitely be the best in slot for the units because it's the highest vision card attack in the entire game currently until we get like Diosius in a few months. This will be the strongest vision card, period. That said, it is locked to Nier units, and if you're not using a Nier unit, it's just kind of bad because you get no flat stack, it's 500 attack weaker. You'll get way better from like the Hayo card, the Cog card, even like Chizuru's card on Brave Exvius units. So for Nier cards, definitely best in slot, or for Nier units. For not Nier units, honestly speaking, we saw the preview from 2B, and we see that it's a double hitting morale unit, morale LB, meaning the cool smile card is 100 times more fire. So that's probably going to be better on 2B, at least for bursting, not long term, of course. But for a short term, the cool smile will very likely be better than this one. And it's also kind of a perk that, I mean, it's a bad thing, but it's almost like saving you from yourself, that it's not best in slot for everyone. So like the mega whales don't feel tempted to EX3 like 4 copies of Nier units just so they can put this on their, Titus or etc. or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. No, I didn't see it, and I certainly didn't capture a picture of it. Does A2 have a vision card as well? Did they show that?
Shared.
Same one. Oh, it's the same one for both. It just doesn't say her name right there. Okay.
You get either to EX3, and you'll get this.
Cool. So even less pressure to force yourself to get EX3 both. Right away, anyways. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Speaking of A2, here we go. A strong physical attacker with a powerful SLB that can deal high, again, light elemental damage. And the SLB is Berserker, boost attack and damage of certain abilities for the caster, damage all enemies. It's an extreme Nova chain. Who saw that coming?
Me. 100% me. Absolutely, definitively me. But I played the game, so yeah, I knew that. That makes perfect sense. It's thematically the most accurate unit I'll probably ever see. But what's more important about this unit is we now confirmed that the potential trap that was there from that FOMO Sakura card is completely null and void as of these two units. Because I was worried that they were going to make one of these two units potentially a magic attacker, and that Sakura card was going to be best in slot for them. And nope, I'm good.
Okay. I guess that's a benefit for that, yeah.
I mean, that's very much a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag save for Nier.
Too late.
I guess you can mention. Go ahead.
No, I just said too late. We already saved for Nier.
Oh yeah. It could also be worth mentioning that she is in fact a super limit burst unit, which is usually an unpopular decision. In my opinion, it doesn't mean the unit is all of a sudden just bad immediately. You definitely got to see the whole package to decide. But it is SLB, which can be more restrictive if you want to use them. But based on this preview and the next slide you're probably going to show, where they show the skills,
there you go.
It looks like her SLB is probably not going to be her primary burst. It'll be this hateful blade skill. It's kind of like her Carton frenzy skill.
Yeah.
And the SLB will boost this as well. So that's kind of convenient, I guess.
It is. And I think what's potentially troubling about that is that since she is a premium SLB, that you do have to work really hard to get that so that you can get that online as quick as possible. If you're trying to burst within turn 5, for your classic Clash of Wills burst, then you need her at EX2 or better, right? So you can do it on turn 4?
Honestly speaking, every single unit starting with Edgar going forward in JP was a 150 fire amplify, or not fire, 150 amplify of their element, whatever it would be. Meaning 150 is just the standard. I can't imagine them going backwards on global, especially for a hype club like Nier, meaning they probably have 150 amplifies like every single other unit going forward. Meaning, in order to do this, you would have to SLB turn 3, amplify turn 4, do the proper burst turn 5, meaning you have to be EX3 to do it within that turn 5 meta.
Yeah. So if you're gonna go hard, is what you're saying, if you're gonna go nuts trying to get one EX3, it should probably be A2.
Oh, definitely the SLB unit.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Okay. Anything else before I go on to her EX1 ability?
I'll just
They said Hateful Blade is EN, right?
It does not say.
I think they said it in the stream. But not her SLB?
No, her SLB was. Here, I'll go back to it.
SLB is 2.
Yeah, it's Extreme Nova as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Everybody's Extreme Nova these days.
Everybody good.
Wow. All right. There's interesting possibilities with that.
Here is her STMR and TMR. And this one I think is controversial. Vortex of the Past and Hatred. Boost attack by 100%. Boost physical damage against beasts and machines by 100%. And equipment attack by 100% when you are double-handing.
It's amazing.
Okay, attack 100%. Beast and machine killer 100%. Equipment attack 100%. It's consolidating of so many things at once while still also having those killers on it. I think it's great.
I agree.
It is a very strong item. But once again, my thing is I feel like it's not good enough better than Irvine's. I just really wish it was a different combo. If it was even one other race of different than Irvine's, this is better. By far, this is better than Irvine's. But it's just so similar it's hard to get behind this being like, oh, this is amazing, great power creep like that I'm looking forward to. Like it's very, very good. I will absolutely be using this on units. It's just I wish it wasn't a duplicate of the exact killer combo of Irving's.
Mm-hmm.
Really wish.
And I'll leave in devil's advocate because I'm a big fan of the STMR, but it's a limited time premium Neo Visions unit, whereas Irvine is a UOC-able 5-star base. So I will say, from an accessibility perspective, it's not good enough necessarily to be the cost differential to Irvine that it is. That being said, it's a powerhouse slot efficient STMR, and I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Then the TMR is boost attack by 500, boost attack by 70%, and then Omni Killer 50% for Nier units only. Seems like this is probably, must have if you're going to have A2 or 2B.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. You're going to want to run this probably as best in slot on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really hope that this unit has Trust Moogles in the event, just for those of us that just happen to only maybe get one copy of A2 or something. That's going to really suck if we just can't get a second of the TMR any other possible way. Like, if, in my worst case scenario polls, I only got one A2, but I could still get like EX2 from, shards in the VIP shop, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But you have Prism Moogles?
I do. I've never
I
used
was
one.
gonna
I've
say.
still got 4 remaining. I
Oh
would
my
probably use
God.
my first one ever on this.
Oh my god. I've only ever
wish I
had
still
2
had
in my
one.
entire account.
You heard
Same.
it
They're
here.
long gone.
Sinzar is going to use resources.
Wow.
Well,
Happy Black Friday.
the better solution is just pull a second A2.
That would be ideal. Also, maybe give us some Prism Moogles. Maybe anytime. Yeah, would be great.
Please.
It's been 4 years.
It has been
4
ridiculous.
years. Yeah.
Cool. So mixed reviews on it. Some people love it, some people don't. But we all agree that the TMR is fantastic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the step up. Speaking of, so I'm excited about this. I don't know about you guys. Who did the math on this? How much does this cost? I'm not a mather.
36.
36. So it's more expensive than the card step up that we usually get for this, but we get a guaranteed one or the other at the end, and you can do this one time per player.
Yes, and they're both on here, and you can see there are no summon tokens whatsoever on here.
Mm-mm.
So as far as cost efficiency, it is cheaper than the 60,000 usual pity cost for a premium.
Mhm.
But it's RNG. Now, if you're going for both of them, who cares? But let's say someone only wants 2B. This is potentially worse.
True, but it does have a very high rate on step 4. Step 4 has a 10% rate for collab Neovisions. So
Potentially very exciting.
I'm so torn because it's not going to be a secret. I'm sure I'll say it more than once. I want EX3 of both of them on day one. I want to do this and I want to like to do this, but until we know anything else about pity structure, until we know anything about anything, it's hard for me to get as excited about this as I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is, strictly speaking, better or worse.
I would assume that they're going to have like your standard, regular step up that maybe has tokens on step 1 or 2, or 2 and 3 usually. But there's no guarantee of that. But what is guaranteed, if you count, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Neos along the way guaranteed for 38K.
It's true.
That's cool and all, but after just my personal 3 months of pulling, it's hard to get excited because like every off banner has been just a complete dud. Even though I get a lot of them, it's like I don't care about my 30-second copy of Noctis. It's just yeah, I don't know. It's less and less exciting these days to get a guaranteed random Neo Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Unless one of them is Leftia for the first time, which would be great.
One of these days.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, for sure. You'll get to see her SLB one of these days, maybe. I can set her as a friend unit for you if you want.
That would be dope.
Yeah. Cool. So, but also in there, it looks like STMR Moogles, Emperor Gigantars.
10 Emperor Gigantars.
That's
Massive.
awesome.
That's I didn't even notice that. That's really good.
And
'Cause,
3
like,
mystery
obviously
crystals.
These are both day 1/130s. Like, just from a fandom perspective, but
Probably very, very strong.
I mean, I really like that they are generous with the rates on step 4 and step 5 with the 10% and the 6% rate. I
Sure.
really enjoy that. There's still the option of getting nothing, but
I am genuinely surprised and quite pleased that they are giving players a guarantee. 36k is, again, less than even what the average unit's pity is now that's not premium. So to be able to get a single premium Neovision for less than, 42 now, or 46 depending on the banner, that absolutely full kudos to them. This is fantastic. I appreciate it. They're limited, but it's good.
I will say for like the casual player who just wants a unit, this is fantastic. So I mean, they can get something. They'll be like, oh man, I have a Nier unit, and they got one of them, and they'll be happy. So I mean, it's great to get one.
Oh, for sure.
And for a new player too, man.
And this banner is great for me as well. Like I'm probably not going to EX3 on day 1 like Barry, but I do plan to pull both these minimum of EX2. I have to use them on a rank 1 Clash team. So that's EX2 to both. So for me, this is also a great high value thing. My only criticism is for a player that maybe specifically wants one and only one of the specific units. This could be slightly worse than the 60k guaranteed if they get A2, but we're desperately wanting to get 2B only.
It's true. It might have been better served to have an exchange ticket like they do with the FOMO cards.
Yeah.
To let you pick one. But
if they have that, it'd be perfect.
I'm not going to look the gift horse in the mouth. 1 is better than 0, which is what we easily could have gotten here.
I'm surprised that there is not a FOMO card, frankly. Like, I'm surprised that they don't have their own card that's pretty good for them, and then like a really, really absurdly good card that you can get right here.
I'm not, strictly because that would lessen the impact of needing them to be EX3 to get their card. And I don't think that's from a business perspective, that's not an impact worth lessening.
Also, it seems like most of the time those cards are on like a banner that would maybe be less popular or controversial. For example, they gave it to us on Olive and Lilith because those are like, SLB is bad, so here's another reason to pull, so to speak. Also, things like the War of the Visions collaboration, they stick it on banners that they think people won't be as hyped about. This one, they just don't need it.
Yeah, Roberta was the exception to that one, I guess.
And Tsukiko.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so I'm also curious to see. They didn't say. I don't think they said anything about this. Adding the old Nier units into the pool during the collab. I assume, maybe, hopefully, for players who never had them.
I would hope so. Just for collection purposes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Pod 153 is still fun to use.
Sure is.
They would kind of have to, because once you get to the event, the events are the upgrades of the old STMRs. That'd be really bad for players like myself that just don't have the old units, and I couldn't even do the event gear. That'd be kind of bad.
That would be rough.
I mean, caveat, they could just give the old TMRs as event point.
Or just give the old units as login rewards.
That would be fine too. Mechanical Heart for the win.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Good for new players.
I would see them not doing that though, like not giving the old ones out as rewards, because so many people would want to pull that way. They get a 2B or A2 or whatever, and if they just got a 5-star version, they'd be like, okay, this is good enough.
Cool.
For the casual fan.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing they talked about was Gabranth.
So hyped. This is the best news in the whole thing.
Best news in the whole thing. How delayed is this?
Not super delayed. It should have come out with Balthier, which was like 3 months ago. It's not as bad as a whole bunch of our delays, but it is still late. It is still mostly irrelevant. I didn't compare it exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is just the JP upgrades that he should have gotten 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Okay. Anybody still using Gabranth for anything?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
The JP upgrades don't.
I like his
really save
STMR.
him.
Yeah, the STMR is cool.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yep. All right. And then this one. Chow.
No. He doesn't need an upgrade. He's too powerful already.
This
This is so funny.
This is a strange decision because from the previews and stuff, we can pretty much deduce that the Clash of Wills wants a physical tank,
Mhm.
not a magical tank. And even if it did have a magical tank, they straight up tell you in the news, don't use a beast or a human because it'll murderize you. So I guess he's only going to be coming for his damage because he does have a damage form, and this is upgrading his killers, which is for the damage form. But based on this, I calculated his damage, and you're not taking Chow for damage. It's not. Way too low.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't take Chow for
funniest
damage. You
thing.
take Chow for morale gauge fill and completely negating the need for any other tank.
Yeah, and this will be better for that on other Clash of Wills, I guess. Maybe the Christmas Clash of Will be, a magical fight again, and then Chow will be great. And this will make him even better. And it'll make people that don't have Chow even more upset.
Sad times.
Unless they give
Unit.
us White Knight Noel as a Christmas unit, and then Chow just goes away forever.
Oh, I would love that.
It's very possible.
I
But
do
I've
feel
never
like he
seen
needs
a more
it.
obvious example of counter teaming in my life,
Mhm.
and it's so funny. It's like going through an RPG. You get the strongest weapon in the game that is for whatever reason holy locked, and the final boss is immune to holy, and it's so funny.
I mean, but honestly, Chow has had his time in the sun
Yes.
for 10 months.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, but Sky has been here for over a year, so why not?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Chow is a very strange pick. I'm not unhappy to have it because Chow is still the best for morale generation when it works, and this makes him
Yes.
better. So sure, great. But like there are some other units that needed it desperately more, like Wilk, who was the biggest trap ever, and
Yeah.
Wilk
Yeah.
really needs some help. His
Mhm.
damage is so bad compared to our meta,
Yeah.
and where's his intrinsic?
I'm okay with Chow getting it because I do feel like Chow is lacking on HP, like HP base percent. But it's just weird to me that it's happening.
It's weird that they gave it human and machine killer like it's needed for this Clash of Wills.
But you're not gonna bring him.
On our team.
They did say, and we'll talk about this in a second. They did say that the buffs that the boss gives itself to do more damage to humans and humans and beasts is dispellable. They mentioned that you could dispel that, but still, like it's gonna lower your action economy and stuff. So I don't know. Chow. Here's the raid event. So Virtuous Contract, Executioner, Emails Head Plus. Everybody's getting plus stuff here.
Yeah, they just upgraded all the old stuff.
From doing the raid.
I used Emil's Head a ton back in the day because it was one of the only magic stat helms.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's a pretty much moot point, but it's still kind of cool, at least for newer players who might not have the Clash of Wills helm, to have any magic helm available.
And didn't they say in the question and answer that the Virtuous Contract is two-handed?
They did.
Yes.
Hmm.
Cool. Neat.
I hope that was actually what they were answering and they weren't referring to 2B's STMR.
Mm.
Yeah, it
I
had
guess
to be.
we'll see.
Because the STMR of 2B, it says on there two-handed.
Mhm.
So this
Yeah,
is
they
the one
said
that-
virtuous contract, and they were like, they were referring to the fact that it didn't say, so they have to be referring to actually virtuous contract.
Which that is my hope for sure.
I'm also wondering about the ability that's added to Executioner Plus, chance of instantly KOing or dealing lightning damage. Like,
That's what it used to have.
did it
always had that.
it always had that?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't know. But
But did they upgrade that second part of it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Mm.
Wouldn't it be nice
Maybe
if that
even
was an
give it
extreme
EM
Nova?
chain frames?
Yeah,
Ooh.
that would be cool.
Extreme Nova or triple bolting, or one of the other ones we don't have, like Absolute Mirror of Equity would be one that'd be great to have,
Mm-hmm.
because we're about to get a whole bunch of Absolute Mirror of Equity units from JP.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
There's
Although-
a dagger that gives it Rundra or something.
but you can only do
That was time limited.
You can't. triple.
Yeah, everything's time limited in this game.
It's true. I mean, a triple cast lightning bolting strike skill would be pretty cool. I wouldn't complain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because this STMR always needed help. Like, it was really never good.
It wasn't.
Yep. Now, the boss they said was against Engels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again.
Again.
Mhm. It's the same raid as before.
Which I guess is poetic, because that's about as many times as you fight him in the game, too.
Okay. I wouldn't
So
know
why
about that
not?
either.
That's
But-
okay.
They did say we get the challenge version against the formidable Engels 2022, where we're going to get Lapis. That looks like a guaranteed 10+1 Neo, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully, it's like the 3,000 Lapis kind of boss like we get from JP.
Would
Yes,
be
please.
would be super cool. Would be lovely to have that available to pad your resources on day one. STMR
And
moves.
Day one.
I said it in our little chat, but this is the first time we've ever seen a Super Trust ticket in high quality. I'm so hyped to see what they actually look like.
It looks cute, right?
With the little golden Moogle on it, I think it's so cute.
He's got stars on his head. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And is that that's
seen
a
it in high
mystery
quality.
crystal? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I'm excited to
I
see it.
wouldn't
Yeah,
hate if
but-
FFBE would just sell us framed versions of these tickets. Because the art's not bad.
No.
Did
A
they
lot of
mention-
like. Go ahead.
Did they mention what kind of event it was? Like the actual event itself? Is it like
It's
is
a
it a
raid.
raid?
It's a
Okay.
raid.
The actual event is
Yeah.
a raid. Yeah. This is just like a
It's-
challenge level.
It's just the same raid brought back, and they tuned it.
Do you think it's the same raid currency? Because I definitely never sold it.
Maybe.
Never sell anything. You sound like Flip.
No,
Um,
I just got lazy after a point.
But yeah, they said it was the same raid brought back, and they tuned it for the current like state of power, so it won't be one-shottable by a naked 4-star unit.
Exciting.
That's a shame.
Yeah, right. But so it's basically the same event, and they also changed the rewards. So if you cleared it back then, you don't still have the clear. So it is technically a new event, but it's basically exactly the same thing.
Okay. Cool.
Wasn't 210 one of the event prizes in one of the previous iterations?
He was a gotcha unit, I think.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the on the initial run, but I feel like we got one for free from the second run of that raid.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Well, my point in saying is that would be great because really, that TMR can't be understated. How good it could be in morale generation perspective in the absence of Chow's counter skills not working the way that they should be. Just to give another potential provoker the same morale generation capabilities once Chow is finally phased out. It would be great for that to be a more accessible materia
Mhm.
for players who might potentially not have, an obscure 3-star TMR from 2017.
Yeah, because anytime I ever use it, it's always like, hey, what can you use if you don't have that? And I'm like, Snow Bear. And it's like, well, what can you use if you don't have Snow Bear? It's like, have a nice day.
Phoenix Jake's TMR.
Yeah.
Pink.
Yeah.
Pink Ribbon. It's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Pink ribbon.
Super ribbon.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, more limited stuff. Speaking of Clash of Wills.
But not a reflect ring, because no one has that.
Oh, never, never. Here's our Clash of Wills boss, the Iraq 2, which is not an insect, it's a machine human, weak to light, wind, and lightning.
Was this actually in?
No.
Nier?
No.
Okay.
No, this is all original. Which makes this even better, because that is original art. It's not just a reused asset from a Square property.
And it's actually a good thing too, because it gives them more flexibility to like put it in Clash of Wills or
Mhm.
Chamber of Vengeance down the road
Mhm.
without getting
Mhm.
relicensing, etc.
Exactly so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they continue with that.
Mhm.
Would be nice. Very cool. And
a rock too. Oh,
A-Rec
as in
2.
like arachnid. Oh, okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
It's a spooter.
Light, wind, and lightning.
Yeah.
What do we
It's a
think
dry-
about that for teams?
It's a
Oh.
drider.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, are we going to see a rerun of the ever present Tsukiko and Fina the Return teams?
Well, honestly, no, because unless these Nier units have 100% or better amplifies AOE, I'm 99% sure we're going to go with 100% Sylvie for the party, and then they'll just have to split their amps, unless the Nier units can solo carry the damage all by themselves with their personal amps. But yeah, we don't have a good light or wind support on the level of Sylvie for lightning, and it's weak to lightning, so like
it is. And if you're gonna go,
Shizuru's wind amp AOE.
what was that?
Isn't Shizuru's wind amp AOE?
Self only 100%, 45 AOE.
yeah, you'd want to bring Bulwark for an AOE
Bulwark
wind amp.
then, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he does 60. That's true. He does
Yeah.
60 in Clash.
it's
That's
not
good.
bad. Not bad.
Mhm.
Now, if you were gonna bring Lightning, would you recommend the newly upgraded
Sage of
Sakura? Sage of
Thunderscura?
Sun? Yeah.
That entirely depends on the starting point. If the boss, so we had like 6 clashes in a row where the weaknesses after all modifiers were like -30, 10, 10 in the negative. The most recent one with modifiers, they added an extra like 100% resistance. So it was plus 85 and then plus 70 for the prime weakness. So if it's the same again, then it probably honestly would be worth bringing for the extra 50 amp, because that's a really big damage bonus if you're starting from a baseline of plus 85%. So yeah, kind of like Nicole came to a lot of the ones last season or last month. Yeah, it can very likely be worth bringing.
You feel like it is probably safe to assume that 2B and A2 can carry this damage-wise, though.
I'm gonna guess that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
They
Cool.
seem very much tailored for it. It would also sell them better.
Yes, definitively.
They do like to be selling them units.
It's good business.
Cool. And then here we are. This is really cool. Daily 10 summons with I think they said a 3% chance of Neo Vision's units. Guaranteed going to get a Rainbow or a Neo every day. And that I think they said this adds up to 210.
Yeah, 3-week run.
Yep.
3-week run of daily free Transcension Pearls.
Did they say whether or not they were going to update the unit pool of these pulls per week?
I don't think it was mentioned in the video.
I didn't hear it.
Autumn, so you have the potential to get the Nier units from this, I would think.
Sure, but it's if they're present for 2 more weeks after, are they going to add the new banners into it? Or is it going to stay capped at this new week?
Probably capped. That's per usual.
I hope
though.
so.
Yeah. So these kind of pull things, like, they're amazing. I'm super glad we have it. I'm super happy. But it's always like that conflicting thing. Like, do I do my pulls on day 1, or do I wait till the last day and try to like just freely off banner them from the free stuff? Of course, for Clash of Wills, I kind of have to go.
You kind of have to if
but-
you want to do Clash of Wills right away.
Yeah, EX2 everybody, and then wait to see what you get for the EX3.
And again, this still entirely depends on, are we going to get VIP shards on day 1?
That's valid.
Oh yeah.
I imagine
Totally.
if we do, and that's what I've been saying the whole time, is if we get our day 1 VIP shards, are they going to be triple cost like normal? Are we even going to get them? Because we've never had a limited premium unit where they normally remove all forms of additional shards from all forms of acquiring without a paywall.
The premiums still get the shard. They just cost triple cost. So you would need 12,000 VIP to get 1,000
Oh.
apiece if it's the same.
12,000. That hurts.
Yeah, it is.
That's
crazy.
steep.
So we've got a surprise pop-up guest. Say my daughter has decided she's going to pop up and say hello, and I'm going to say goodnight to her, and she's going to go back up to bed. Can you say goodnight?
Good night,
Good night. Okay.
Dad.
Yes, I'll be up in just a
I
minute.
wanted to let you know that my throat was really, really sore, and I didn't
Okay, can you get your...
You were already late.
That's fine. Can you get yourself a drink of water and then I'll be up? When I'm done, I'll be up. I'm going to edit that part out. Okay.
I'll leave it. It's cute.
It's cute, yeah. She's thirsty, her throat hurts. Yeah, that's nightly process for us.
Welcome to winter in Iowa.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, mixed feelings, yes or no. It could be good, could be bad. Lots of up in the air for the daily, but I'm excited, and I think new players will be excited too, because there's gonna be new players coming in.
This brings people to the game and it keeps them in. Whenever you have a daily free summon, even if it's just a single summon, it's a reason to like want to log in like that second, even for a new or like returning player, and just keep that attention going. Like they're like, man, I gotta check in and log in. And once you have them logged in, they do the event, they stay in, and they perhaps spend money. So I think having a daily summon free, even if it's just one single one, is hugely beneficial to the life of the game.
I agree.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm super glad they're doing it.
Very cool. The next one was the Black Friday Humor login bonus. And they put that we're going to get Lapis guaranteed Neo 10+1 ticket, fragments for the new units, and more, because the all the like challenge stuff that we did during the event, it adds to the login bonus, which is kind of cool. So if you're trying to get your A2 and 2B fragments, there you go. You're going to get some.
What's with the name?
I assume like black humor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like dark
too.
humor?
Black humor.
Even though it's
Also-
technically dark humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just slightly off topic, out of curiosity, Flip, what's your thoughts on the way Global is still like stringing out login shards? Because JP stopped doing that a long time ago, and you get all the new shards day one from now on. Do you think it's still a good thing that Global strings that out? Because on the one hand, it does, like you say, promote players to keep logging in throughout the week. On the other hand, it always feels to me frustrating that I've got to wait an extra 6 days to get my full bonus for the farm event or for Clash of Wills to get this. Like, I much prefer the day one, get all your shards. You get your 50 shards for the new units day one on JP. I like that a lot more. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that it's two different kinds of players, and the system doesn't exist well for both. I think it would probably be better for it to, because most people, like the player that I'm talking about like the super casual, they don't notice what they get for login rewards. So they just log in and hit collect. And so I don't think it's like beneficial in that way. So I actually see it as hindering that system, because it's more beneficial to everybody to just have them all right away. And if you want to have people logging in every day, you should do it for something else, not the login shard bonus.
I agree. Hopefully someone from Goomy watches this video, takes notice.
Well, you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna chime in.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, just for both y'all as well.
I frequently find myself, because I don't spend a ton. I frequently have to like kind of like pull on a budget. Like I get what I get when I go to pity, and like sometimes that means I have to wait to try and do my clear of Clash of Wills until like the following week, when you get all of the daily login shards. And so like for somebody who wants to just go ahead and like do it, I can't until it happens. So I would rather just go ahead and get all 50 right away.
Wish it was 50.
Or however many it was. I would rather go ahead
30.
and get them all. Yeah, 30. I'd rather go ahead and get them all right then and there. But I get why they can't too.
Sorry for going off topic.
No. That's fine. This is great. Here's our first top. They showed this Black Friday bundle. Notice it costs 5,000 lapis, so you're not getting lapis out of this, but you are getting an NV guaranteed 10+1, a mystery crystal, a master's crown, and a bunch of energy restores for 5,000 lapis.
No.
Not worth.
Didn't think so. I'm not a fan. No fragments, except for the ones you're going to get from the ticket, but what, it's going to be totally random. I'm not a fan of it.
I mean, I would be willing to because I'm really low on energy restores. Don't ask. So I would look at it and be like, oh yeah, well, I need some those energy restores. If they really threw that number up, I would buy it. But for even 20, that's just like 100 lapis worth of energy restores. Like that's nothing. And a Master's Crown, okay, so that's actually, like, if you look at it as like pity tickets,
Yes.
worth 5,000 lapis is actually worth it for that. For the Master's Crown and Mystery Crystal, if you look at it as a pity ticket, but you're not getting anything else. But you do get a 5,000 pull with it. It's the NV guaranteed, but you can't use that on a banner, so it's just some random NVs.
Right.
So it's like they priced it appropriately, I feel, for what you get inside of it, but do I want it?
It's like
No.
enjoy your Cloud Neo visions.
There will, for all of the reasons you just mentioned, there will absolutely be people who get this, because a Master's Crown is 10 pity tickets, Crystal is 5, so you factor in pulls right now for some of those banners are right around 4,500 or so. That's effectively 45 times 15 pulls worth of lapis, or 5,000 lapis, and then on top of it, you're also getting a free Neo Vision, if you look at it that way. So I do understand the value proposition that they're making. It's just when there's a banner that is a limited time double premium banner, to have us have a lapis bundle as the one shown doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
The bigger thing for me is it's supposed to be a Black Friday special, which is like the biggest sale day of the year. This doesn't feel like it's on sale. This feels like a generic, random weekly bundle.
You're not getting more than you normally would. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And then some future updates for stuff. So you're now going to be able to filter for resistance against Stop, Charm, Instant Death, and Berserk. Is there even anything that you can immune Berserk?
Not currently. It's just like future proofing, basically.
Cool. Improvements to the vision card user interface, sort by series, sort by vision card's ID number, because you all know those ID card numbers. And
No, but the ID card number is by released. So like if I just got a vision card, or like it's like one that came out like 2 weeks ago, and I've gotten a few in between, it allows you to like sort by the release order of them, not necessarily your obtained order.
Yes.
So
The obtained order is the worst.
And then
And honestly, sorting by series though is massive, because you get these multiple run games like Final Fantasy X that you might want Yuna's card up at the top, but then you might also want the new Tidus's card right up at the top. And so I think that's a fantastic thing.
I think it's great, because a lot of those cards are like gives bonus to Final Fantasy 6 units of 500 flat attack or something like that. So you'd want to run a card like that, and being able to actually filter for it is a huge plus.
Yeah.
Because what do I know less than a vision card's ID number? Its name, because I promise I don't know its name.
Yeah. I'm getting better at some of those now that we have that as an option, but yeah. Also lets you avoid accidentally using them as enhancement materials. I don't know anybody who is accidentally using them as enhancement materials, but there you go. And then
They started putting those at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I've almost done it a couple times.
Blip's favorite thing in the whole stream, Masters cards can be
my
used
God.
on 3 to 6 star units.
Oh my god, I can do all the meme clears I've ever wanted.
Does this mean we're going to be getting Medius Mondays again, Flip? I
Yes.
actually miss those from you.
I
I
do.
used to really enjoy them.
Yeah, it's because of basically my schedule. I'd have to switch the day that I would do it on, so it'd have to be like Sundays. But
That's fine.
yeah, but I could definitely do it on Sundays, I guess.
You could just schedule your upload on Monday.
Ooh, there we go.
Because you guys definitely still talk about it and build in your Discord, right?
Oh yeah, we still talk about it, and we still have a Discord, and we build, and we theorize. But being able to equip vision cards is huge, because we're still kind of locked on the largest equipable damage for a 3 to 6 star unit being just summoning Bahamut.
But once you can use Blazing Red Flash, different story.
Watch out, Belphegor, here I come.
Jeez.
Exciting. We're getting close to the end here. This is the rewards that they showed us getting for the live stream challenge. So these are going to get added to the Black Friday Humor login. The most exciting thing, in my opinion, is the guaranteed Neo and 1500 Lapis. Very, very cool.
Pretty nice.
For just for participating and playing along, which is kind of cool. I always kind of wonder if they just planned on giving us these anyway. I don't know.
Of course.
They always, because whenever we've failed, gotten the answer wrong, or Hiroki's failed, we've always gotten, they go, oh, you know what, we feel like being nice and already go ahead and giving it to you. So they've already programmed it. They've sent the letter, the email, whatever, and sent the dev team to say, put these in at this date. They just come up with a game to make it fun for the middle of the stream.
That is fun. Sometimes. The spicy ramen one was pretty good.
Yeah, him having anything spicy, because it was either a spicy drink or spicy ramen.
Yeah.
And I felt like we got a little shortchanged this time because Hiroki didn't have to eat anything.
This was exciting, I think. So the developer section, a character popularity poll for next year. And these are just some of the units that they're including. It says and more. But so far they're showing us Malphazy, Napi, Circe, Melia, Sky. Is that... Yan, yes. Morgana, Yoshikiri, Beryl. Why is Eldrin in this list? Ong and Shui Yi and more. So who?
Why is Sky in the list?
Because she's old.
Because she's popular.
But don't you know we have so much lore on precursors that it just has to be a precursor.
Yeah. Well, there isn't Yoshikiri. No, he's not a precursor. He's a warrior of the crystal.
No, he's an FF unit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I want to talk for a second. So this is see a Neovision version of this unit. Allow them to see they're in like their either a Brave Shift or a Super LB, and they'll probably be like a Clash of Wills related unit, and they can get a whole new fandom from a whole new like series of like friends and family. So I think that it should be, if people are voting, it should be one of the lower tier bases and not somebody who's already a Neovision like Melia or Sky or Eldrin or somebody. So I think, and oh my god, why is Napi on the list? Poor Napi.
Poor Napi.
It's like they realized that even the IA didn't save her. So in my personal opinion, it should be one of the 5-star units that are on here, or who knows what the and more has. Maybe it has something like the Chizuru that's even more loved, that's in the and more section. But I really want to see the fan design units, one of them get it. Or maybe even Ong, because Ong was great. And if we got Ong, maybe potentially down the road we'd see Yan, because I know they like doing that whole like lore thing, like a few Clash of Wills later. So I can only see positivity in this popularity contest poll.
Yeah. Who would you guys pick out of the ones that they're showing? Who would you vote for?
For me, my personal favorite on this list would be Beryl. That said, I wouldn't vote him purely for meta reasons. I don't want yet another tank. So I would go for Ong, because Ong is my second favorite on this list.
Cool.
I would also vote for Ong, because I've voted for Ong for every single fan poll so far. Ong was, after my fixed dice Tidus kind of phased out, Ong was probably my next good unit that I ever had, and still probably second to the Lunera and Bran event. From a lore perspective, the Yan, Ong, and Chao event is probably my favorite event that they've ever done. And so Ong, I think being able to see him, he would probably be just an SLB unit, but that's fine. Being a good bow SLB unit would be absolutely spectacular.
It would be really cool to get a good bow user.
'Cause what's the last one?
None.
Do you remember? Because I don't think there's been any.
Furion.
Yeah,
Technically, yeah. Who would you pick, Flip?
I've got to go with Malphazy. honestly, like all the rest of the units are great and fun. If I was picking based on like not sprite, not lore, not anything, just like how it works like mechanically in the game, I would pick Ong, because bow user could be really fun, could actually get bows used in the game for some reason or another, and bow in peril would actually be relevant. But for just like personal fan favorite, it would be Malphase, because I've met Malphase's creator. She's the sweetest person. At the fan fest, she cosplayed as Malphase, and it was just the sweetest thing. I thought it was amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So whenever she was there, I bought the art book, which had her art in it for Malphase, and she didn't know. And I took the fan art book and I took it over to her, and I wanted her to sign the book with her art for Malphase in it. And she was floored because she didn't know that it was in the book.
Awesome.
That's a cool story. That's a really cool story.
Great story.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it's Malphase, just because she's a little bit unique. She's one of the fan design units, and I really think that the fan design units need to have love. I'd also love to see the JP fan design units get upgraded too, like Kelsis, for instance.
Oh man, Kelsis.
Yeah, I want to see the fan design units get their love. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I would probably have to go like Circe has always been one of my favorite units, like just in terms of concept, like how like the damage worked, and how, like, you know, self-imbue, unload the neat limit burst. Like I've always been a huge fan of how that works, and so that's obviously a big part of like how the current meta for the game works. But either Circe or Morgana, like I really like evokers, and I feel like everything they've done with Morgana has always been fun. And so I'd love to see Morgana done better.
Keying into what Cinzor said on Beryl, I think Beryl's original design didn't have him being a tank. It had him being a DPS, and they just released him as a tank because it's what was more useful to the meta at the time. So with his like heaven mode and hell mode and all of that, I think it was like a support version and a DPS version, which could be a very nice brave ship
Super
unit,
good
essentially
brave shift,
having like a healer support unit in one form and a DPS in the other form, and he doesn't have to be a tank. So they don't have to be their traditional roles if they get their Neovision upgrade.
In that case, I'm swapping my vote. Give me Beryl.
Beryl, bring it on. And just
Still Ong for sure though.
still.
But what I will say is, if we're looking at these units, the one who's probably also in the and more section, and Flip, you probably already know what I'm going to get to. If Myra is a possibility,
She's getting voted for by everybody.
I hope so. And maybe they'll give her back the ability to remove zombie like she had once upon a time, but I don't know who even remembers that was a thing. But if we're going to talk about the Fasta units, I really hope that they would include the original designers on that.
They don't.
Because that's a shame.
Once the original designers submitted the artwork, it became Square Enix property and intellectual rights. So,
then yes, Ong needs to win.
I have a story from Myra too. I was streaming on Twitch, and Myra's fan creator came in the day that Myra was released, because she was searching for somebody like talking about her unit, and she had just went to Reddit, and everybody was like, Myra's the worst unit, healers are stupid, blah. And so she came over to Twitch, and I was like, this unit's awesome, it can do so many things, look at its crazy rotation, and at the time a great healer. And and she was like, oh my god, it's so nice to see somebody like positive about like my design. And I was like, don't go to Reddit.
That's kind of like my general
probably didn't know how
perspective
to
on
use it.
life. Is don't go to Reddit.
Super fair.
Yeah. Speaking of, just like this is my time to make an aside. I think, and I know why they can't do it. But I think that like events where people can go, like Fan Festa and things like that, like I know why it can't happen. But I feel like that's a thing that the community is lacking, and would be really good for the community. I'm sure it's expensive. I'm sure there's a lot of risks involved. I personally, like, if they had one and it was within driving range, I would get in my car and go. But like, I think that that's something that's missing.
I think whatever one is held next needs to be geographically what's closer to Sinzar. That way he can't make an excuse.
There you go.
I mean,
know, man.
if they had one close by, I would absolutely go. It's just every single the closest fan festa has been like California, which is halfway across the country for me. That's just too far away.
Yep.
They did have
Well-
a fan meetup in Orlando a few years ago that you super could have come to.
I mean, that's still like either an expensive plane trip or like a 10-hour drive.
There
And
was one in New
priorities.
York as
Mhm.
well.
There was in New York. I don't know if was there ever a Chicago?
No.
Okay.
There was New York and the only official ones were New York and LA.
Hmm.
The other ones were sort of independently organized, but officially like okayed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. They should. I get why they can't, but I miss it, and I think that I would love to see one. So there you go.
Agreed.
Then the last slide here that I had was the producer's present. This is they're just giving it out, and I think they even said they're giving it out on day one of the new stuff. We're getting a red pearl, a bonus present ticket, a lot of gil, king metal minotaurs 15 and 2,000 lapis. Yay!
I am swimming in Minotaurs, but okay, sure.
Yeah,
Cool, I guess.
yeah.
At least Minotaurs don't.
What
take
is the
up inventory
bonus present
space now.
ticket?
They didn't say.
Well, no, those are okay. So apparently we don't have whales. Barry, you can explain what that is.
I sure can. So, let's talk about them. It's just a ticket. So we got a couple, I think, for an anniversary a while back, and now they just throw them in with bundles every now and again. But there's just those random tickets that you might get lapis or different pearls, either 100 lapis or 500 lapis, an ascension or transcension pearls, UOC. I think they go up to 100% trust, 50% super trust, some STMR tickets. It's basically just a random thing.
Okay,
Okay. So,
maybe some
a little
lapis.
bit randomized add-on.
If you're unlucky, you get a UOC ticket.
Cool. So I know we went kind of fast and went over a lot of different slides. Is there anything that I didn't hit that you guys want to make sure we talk about before I go to my last question for you guys?
I guess you could mention the 3 questions they did, maybe.
The Q&A.
So one of the questions had to do with the dark matter, which they mentioned that because of the discrepancy in the dark matter that JP players have versus global players, that because of the cost of the new dark visions weapons, that they recognize that, and they're going to do something to increase the amount that we're getting going forward. What was the other ones?
That there will be Esper Ore more
Yes.
available soon through different story events and missions.
Esper Ore, which is also good for everybody.
And then the second question, I forget what it was. It wasn't really an impactful question. Does anyone remember?
Question 2 is unit fragments in the fragment ticket exchange shops are only up
Yes.
to January 23rd. Any future plans to update the unit selection?
And their answer was really impactful too.
It was maybe.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll check that out.
Yeah.
I think they said something of we need to make sure the timing is right, which is great. It's a great answer.
It basically means as soon as these fragments are no longer useful, sure, you can have them.
And only if we weren't planning on putting them in the Clash of Wills exchange shop already.
Yep. Okay. So that said, here's our final question for the night, and that is, based solely on what was presented today, would you recommend the average player, or even maybe a new player jumping in the game this week, pull for the units, and why or why not?
Yes.
I would say yes, just based on the knowledge that Clash of Wills units are usually pretty strong. This has been hyped up for half a year, so they don't really want to let the player base down, so they're probably going to be designed well. That said, they are premium, but that 36K for guaranteed one of them, and just one of them should be able to carry a new player for the first 98% of the game. So I'd say probably yes, worth pulling.
I agree. If in the past, if we had a time-limited premium equivalent unit and didn't have a permanent shard dungeon, I would have said probably not. But having a guarantee, any amount of login shards, a permanent shard dungeon, and just the fact that this is a global, at least a global original, possibly global exclusive collab, which we don't get very often, especially for a game like this that has been so asked for and is just so sweepingly popular and has done so well in the collabs they've done previously. There's no way that these units are not worth at least 36,000 lapis. If you have no desire to push past that, don't. But I can't think of anything that we know that's coming in the pipeline, barring potential Clash of Wills units on any given month, that have the potential to be as strong as a collab premium unit is.
Very good. Flip.
I definitely I'm going to concur with that. So from myself and since our new player experience videos, we kind of realized that having like one really good like EX3 or EX2 version of a global exclusive character can completely carry an account through almost all content. And so if I was a new player coming into the game, I would definitely pull on these units with all of that free stuff that you get and just take them to EX2, EX3, whatever you could get, and just clear out all the content because they seem like they're going to be incredibly powerful and could definitely be worth it for a new player.
Yeah. And a lot of my viewers know that I have a rule about chasing after premium units, that I just don't do it. I haven't done it since Sephiroth. And I'm gonna have to break my own rule here, and because they seem like they're gonna be really game changing and really strong and really important going forward for lots of things. And Nier has always been done super well, and I missed out on Nier both times that we've run Nier. I've just not had luck, and I feel like this is my time. And I feel like new players could really benefit from just having a single copy that you get guaranteed. So I say go for it.
I guess it's worth prefacing to why all four of us have this same opinion, right? Because for the newer players or the player who is a bit more casual or returning that may just not know, speaking, with the exception of some throwaway collabs that we've gotten late, collab units tend to just be good units.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back and we look at some of the things that global, especially global original or global exclusive, has given us, they gave us Rico, who at the time was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us upgrades to Deus Ex units, which were pretty good. They gave us our first 90 breaker, which was obviously incredible for a long time. And then you throw a premium tag on top of it. And so while we know absolutely nothing about kits or numbers or anything other than what they've already shown, based upon the fact that they are releasing not just one but two limited time premium units, from a business perspective, if you really just throw everything else about the game away and you examine that from a macro perspective, those units have to be worth what they are asking the player base to invest in them.
Well,
and
it's
so, go ahead.
Like you were saying, from the company side, they have to split the cost. They have to split the profits with whoever's responsible for the Nier collab. So FFBE, Gumi, whoever is splitting a little bit of the money that they're making with the Nier property. So they have to make sure that the units get pulled on more often than anything else. So that means make them good.
Mm-hmm.
And also the other side of the coin, if we're not pulling these units, what are we pulling on? Ingus, Summerfina? Like, you pull on global exclusives. You just do in this game on the global server.
Yeah, different games we go for them.
Yes, Submarine Runda. That could be fun, I guess.
So dumb. I hate that sprite.
Poor Runda. So good in so many ways, but not that sprite.
And so just we're not just going into this blindly because we're hyped about Nier as a property. Considering I think of the four of us, I'm the only one who's played the game.
I think that's accurate.
The game is amazing, just if you think about it. But regardless of that, based on the way that this entire collab is set up, based on how strong and how long-lasting the Nier units were back in the 6-star era, when 2B fixed dice LB clears could just nuke trials like Agaion, which were our gold standard of is a unit strong trial for a long, long time. There's no way that this, with the cost that they are asking us to incur resource-wise, will not be good units.
Yeah.
So that is why we can say this with pretty relative confidence. Yes, it is worth it. Just do it. You won't be upset. You might not have EX3 like some of your friend units will, but it will be good for a long time, regardless of where it is.
Very
Since
cool.
our EX3 day one.
EX3 day one, let's get it.
I mean, if the polls go amazingly well, it's a
No.
potential, but
No.
that is not the plan. The plan is EX2 day one and do a Clash of Wills clear. Try to get rank 1 on day one yet again. I'm keep my streak going, but yeah, I plan to get EX. I do plan to get EX3 by the end of the event, but that's going to include all the free polls, all the login rewards, etc. So by
Change
last
my
day,
friend
probably
message.
EX3.
Cool.
I'm changing my friend message to get good, Sinzar.
So
In fact, I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now with all of you here.
speaking of,
happening.
so the event comes out on Thursday, and for all 4 of us, because we reside in North America, you know, that's Thanksgiving. Sinzar, are you going to be doing your cow attempts on day one, like right there on Thanksgiving?
So that's the thing. So I am hoping maintenance is not extended crazy, and if it's not, it usually comes up my time, 7 to 8 a.m. If so, I will log in, I will quickly do my polls, I will then start streaming, and then I'll have about like 2 hours to stream and hopefully cap Vision World or Clash of Wills before I have to go and meet the family for Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
if I can rank 1 very quickly, I will be streaming early on. But if it's long maintenance, delayed maintenance, or crazy hard Clash, can't beat it immediately, it might not be a day one thing, or at least not until late that evening.
Cool deal. So if you've been living under a rock and for some reason don't know about it, go keep an eye out for Sinzar's live stream cow attempts on YouTube. Flip, are you doing anything specific for this, like a poll, a poll session on Twitch or anything like that?
I don't know what I'll be doing on Thursday because it's just me and my girlfriend that live out here in Southern California. So like no family or anything. So we actually bought tickets to Disney.
Oh, nice.
We're going to Disney.
Well done.
Thanksgiving.
Well deserved. Well deserved. Nice.
So I might do something, maybe.
Cool. Well, I can say for myself, I was challenged to a poll battle, but the person who challenged me is not in the country, and I don't believe they celebrate Thanksgiving. And said when I brought that up, said that they weren't really sure if they were willing to wait. So we'll have to see if the poll battle will take place. If I'm gonna try and position for waiting at least until the end of the day, so I can do stuff with my family, and then do that, because I think I'm really looking forward to it. And those are always a lot of fun. But if nothing else, I'll be pulling at some point, and you guys will all get to see me cry miserably. So that'll be good.
Just one little aside here real quick. I'm sad for another year they decided not bring back the global original sprite that they made.
Of the turkey?
The turkey.
The turkey.
Sprite number
Yeah.
9055. The cooked turkey.
Why couldn't we have the cooked turkey of unknown origin? Come on.
They made it. It's a great sprite. It's a cooked turkey that you have to fight. Bring it back every year, please.
Now, I will say that was on a Christmas event, not a Thanksgiving event, though.
I
You're
don't
right.
care.
Yeah, either way, bring the turkey back. All right. Well, guys, thanks for hanging and talking. We've been talking for almost an hour and a half, if you can believe that. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I appreciate everybody else who's been sticking around watching this video for this whole time. So keep an eye out for all the fun stuff going on this week and beyond, here on all of our channels, except for Barry, who doesn't have one. He just likes to tag team along with us.
Yeah.
But we love him for it. And yeah, we'll see you in whatever comes next. Tuesday for me, and I know Tuesday for Sinzar too.
Yep. See you then.
All right, guys, take care.
See y'all.
See ya.